Hello, welcome to Krafting Kitty. My name is Erin. It is Tuesday, which means it's time to tackle it. What are we tackling? My WIPs, my works in progress. Those projects that have been floundering for so long. Y'all, we need to have a talk about them. First, let's talk about the one I'm currently working on. It is Jesse's Flames. Where's the book? It's in the bag somewhere here. Okay, I am making my son Chomps the pattern Jesse's Flame from this book. I'm not going to say the title. It will be linked in the description box. People seem to get very upset when I say the title of the book. There you go. That's the sweater. That's the book. Hope I haven't burnt anyone's eyeballs out. So, I started this a while ago, like 3 years ago, I think, and then realized I was making an adult sweater, put it aside in frustration, and now I've realized my kid is darn small. Or darn tall, not small. He's very skinny, but he's also very tall. And he has some adult small t-shirts that he's been wearing as jammies. And I don't know why. The kids both love the idea of a sleep dress. I guess if it's a man, do you say night dress? I don't know, but I know they make them for men as well. And he likes them. Bingo likes them as well. But anyway, that's how I realized it's starting to fit him better. So I figured this will fit him sooner rather than later. So I was working on the front panel. I started working on it again and realized my tension had greatly changed. But up till a certain point, the front and back panels are exactly the same. So I merely switched it to the back panel. Who says you have to make the front first, right? Okay. I am so close to finishing it. Had I worked on it today, it would be done right now. But I took the kids to the zoo, and that's where most of the late morning, early afternoon, actually, yeah, we left at about 2:45, so early afternoon I'll call it. Anyway, it was jam-packed. It's a beautiful day. We're supposed to get storms tomorrow, but today was lovely, and I certainly, that's the dogs, I apologize. I do not begrudge anyone for going, but the zoo is still at winter staffing levels. They weren't prepared, so it was there were no food and beverage options available. It got rough, guys. It got rough. But anyway, we had fun. The kids saw a lot. Unfortunately, all of the play areas were just jam-packed. So I was like, let's just do the animals. We'll come back another day. We're season pass members, so it's not like this was our one shot at the zoo, you know? Anyway, sorry for that divergence. Had I worked on it today, I would have been done. I am going to finish filming this. It's stockinette, so it is curling pretty badly. But there you go. It's there. Promise. I'm like 2 decreases away from finishing. I'll bind that off, and then, oh, I'm sorry. I was here last week. So I did all of this for today, or for this week. I don't know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. I did that much work since last we met. Yeah, I'm excited. I kind of wish I had pushed through or maybe worked on it before I filmed here, but I also just wanted to get the filming done. Yeah, guess who forgot her sunscreen? I put face lotion on, and it's burning. I hope it doesn't look too red. I don't know. It looked really red in the car when we left. And then when I got home, and looked in the mirror, it looked like it had settled down a little bit. So I'm going to be interested to watch the playback on my computer, see how tomatoey I look. Anyway, I had promised today we were going to talk about twists and turns as well. So the first project I pulled out to work on Tackle It was Wes Knit's 2022 MCal Twists and Turns. I made good progress. I'm now on part 3 finally. But I have absolutely fallen out of love with this project. I don't know what to do about it. For the past 2 weeks, so the first week, I at least picked it up and had it in my lap multiple times, but never put a stitch on it. Last week I didn't even pick it up. And I love the idea of the MCal, and I love the idea of doing the MCal in time with it. One of the issues is, as I know what this final product looks like, and I don't like it. I'm not a fan. It's not something I'll ever wear. So I kind of feel a bit like, ugh, why am I putting all this work into it? The other part of me, and I love this yarn, so I'm like, I could make something else with this yarn very easily. The other part of me is like, whoa, you're 200 grams of fingering weight in already, a little over. Like, that's a lot of work to rip out. And that's where I'm kind of stuck in my head. Like, I think I've reached a point where I feel okay maybe ripping it out, reclaiming the yarn, doing something that I know I will enjoy more. Let me hold it up so you can see where I'm at. So this is part 1, this middle chevron section with the Jacob's Ladder, part 1. These wings and this cabling, that's part 2. So I've got that on both sides. Part 3, we're adding this bit, and then there is going to be a bit here. This is a trust the process moment. You are going to add a bit that connects these, and then there will be some added here on the bottom as well. So on the bottom right here, where the Jacob ladders are, it'll be extended down. So when I had all of that experience, Brian was in, I almost said England. If Brian was in England, I would have been with him. Nothing would have stopped me. He was in India, which I've, a couple of you have messaged me saying, oh, that's a dream trip. I agree. India sounds super cool. Maybe when the kids are older. It was a tough week that first week. Brian had been gone. I was just kind of I was out of sorts, let's say. But last week, he was back most of the week. We didn't have, like... So what's weird is that second week Brian was gone. That first week I didn't touch the project. Each day something happened where it wasn't a major crisis, but it was something that was harder to handle when you're single parenting it than it would be if you had both adults available. And like, I think it's no secret Brian's the breadwinner. We use his health insurance. We needed to access that. I didn't have the new cards. Thankfully everyone understood and we were able to get past it, but like, it's just those, that on top of all of the other prolonged stress made it a bad time. And so I'm glad I didn't make any decisions. Anyway, long story short, I finally got time to talk to Brian about this project. And I was telling him how I think I'm ready. I want to rip it out. I think it's time. You know, how do you know when to say goodbye to a project? How do you know when to let go? And I don't know how you know, but I think in my heart of hearts, I know this project isn't for me. It doesn't excite me, all this kind of stuff. he knows me very well. Of course, we are married. And he was like, don't rip it out. You are going to be so upset with yourself if you rip that out after you put that much work into it. He knows my stubbornness. He knows my desire to challenge myself. And that's what I like about these MCAL ideas, is it's a challenge. It's stretching your creative muscles. It's stretching your knowledge of knit in this case. And I applaud it for that. Doesn't mean I like the final result. So I am going to listen to a number of you who are saying, don't rip it out yet. Put it aside. Because when I did pull it out, I got excited for it at first, and I was working on it. I wonder if I put it aside, pull it out again in a couple of months, will that come back? Or maybe I put it aside and go through, like, I think this is what I actually want to do. I want to put it aside. I want to not tear it out, and I would like... My first idea with the Tacklet was I would pick out a project and I would finish that project. The projects I have are so far from completion that it's not working out that way. So I wonder if it would be more beneficial to pull out a project, work on it. I'm going to say, at first I was thinking 1 week, but with any project, there's like an adjustment period to look at it, figure out what you were doing, and then get going on it. I feel like working on a project for 2 weeks and then seeing how far you can get it done and then setting it aside and then pulling out another. So I more cycle through and touch more projects. I think that would help me avoid situations like this where I hit a doldrum moment. I talk about that often, like with my big projects, you always hit a point in the middle where you're like, when is this gonna end? Oh, I've been working on it forever. And you need these periods of like the endorphin rush of finishing a project. So that's why I do need some more smaller projects right now. I am just inundated with big projects. And that's my own doing. I have so many projects on the go at any one time that naturally some are going to take a lot longer, and those longer ones are going to stick around longer. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. I think what I'm going to do next week, how do I do it with? Okay. I'm going to do one more week on the fire sweater. And then next week we will look at where I stopped, where I'm going to stop on the fire sweater. Jesse's Flame. I don't know why I call it fire sweater. Well, because it looks like fire. And then we're going to pull something new out of the box, work on it for 2 weeks, and then switch it up. That's what we're going to do. So, we have a plan. We're going to keep twists and turns. We're going to trust that my husband knows me kind of well, and knows I will be angry with myself if I decide to rip this out. I think he's right. I never used to DNF books. I never did not finish books. I pushed through, so I was always like, this is what I tell him about, football, basketball games all the time. He loves some sports, but if the game gets to a certain point, he's just like, I'm certain they're going to lose, and he turns it off, and he doesn't want to watch it anymore. Like, well, how do you know? Sometimes he'll wake up the next morning, look at the score, and be like, they came back and won. I'm like, wouldn't it have been exciting to watch that live? Wouldn't it have been exciting to stick with it to see the result? That's my idea with the books. Like, maybe if I just stick with it to the end, it'll turn better. I've gotten over that with books. I have never ripped out a project I'm this far into. If I rip out a project, it's normally, you know, you start something, maybe you've got a variegated yarn. What's up? You accidentally what? Poked something in your eyeball?
Yeah.
What happened? What did you poke in your eyeball? What was it? Was it your finger?
Yeah.
Okay. Your eye looks okay.
I kind of accidentally flipped at it.
You accidentally what?
I kind of did this, but slowly, okay? Trying to do this and I accidentally...
You scratched it a little bit?
Yeah.
That hurts, doesn't it? I understand. Your eye looks okay. I think you're going to be just fine, okay? We'll keep looking at it tonight, though, okay?
Just so then you know.
Yep.
Actually, not a question.
What's your question?
Okay. I do want to see you.
Yes, but no YouTube.
Okay.
Thank you. I've totally forgotten what we were talking about. Oh, normally it's, you know, you decide the yarn, the hook, the needle, something is wrong with what you're doing and you realize that early. And then I rip it out and I can change direction still. It's not much work into it. I did that with his gemstone sweater. I started it with a lemon peel stitch, realized it was making an unsightly seam down the back, ripped it out, switched it up to a granny stitch. Turned out much better. Everyone's happy. But yeah, when something is this far along, I have never given up. And he knows that. So we're punting. Twists and Turns lives another day in its little project bag. We'll see what happens to it in the future. I will work on the Jessie's Flame sweater this week. Next week I will show you where I am stopping on that. And then we'll pull something else out. And then that's what we're going to do. Every 2 weeks, cycle something new from the WIP box. See if maybe touching more of those for a more limited amount of time gives me the boost I need to make work on it. I did mention in my weekly roundup, I'm going to streamline the projects I'm working on. I just realized we didn't do the stitch marker of the day. So streamline the projects I'm working on and go from there, and hopefully that will help me get some of these big things off my plate. I'm looking for day 7. That's 9. I found 8, so I'm going to pull that one out. 10. I know this is gripping, riveting YouTubing. There we go. Number 7. I think we're on number 7. If not, I'll go back. I'll find it at the end. This is from Ellie's Yarny Crafts and More. This is her St. Patrick's Day set. She does have a spring set available. What's up, guys?
Hey.
Siblings be siblinging again. So, this is Ellie's stitch marker, St. Patrick's Day stitch marker set. She has a spring one available. Check out her channel. It'll be linked down below. Email her. She's lovely to work with. You will not be disappointed. This is like a calendar page, March 17th. It has a shamrock on it. It has a lovely green oval bead and 2 gold beads and a lobster claw clasp. There you go. Nope. Stitch marker, not my face. Very beautiful. I love it. I am excited. She does great work. Just popped my ankle. So much walking today, guys. So much walking. Okay, yep, I have 6 on here, so 7 is where we were at. And we're good to go. Like I said, I get the assortment of clasps that she offers, but you can ask for one of the other and she will accommodate. She's fantastic to work with, as I said. Okay, I'm going to go settle that and I will talk to you later. Bye!